Iran, a country of natural beauty and ancient wonders. Dubbed as one of the nations of the axis of evil, Iran continues to dominate headlines on the global stage. As a major player in Middle Eastern politics and the Islamic world, this nation is no stranger to controversy. In this video, we're exploring Iran and its prophetic role from ancient history all the way to the end times. So what do we know about the country called Iran? For many of us, the answer to this question would be not much, except for what we are told in the media. To understand this nation's current status and future in biblical prophecy, we must go back to its past. In the Bible, Iran is known as Persia. It was part of the Medo-Persian Empire that conquered the Neo-Babylonians. The first Persian Empire was founded by Cyrus the Great around 550 BC. He became the dominant leader after conquering and uniting nearby tribal kingdoms of Medes, Babylon, and Lydia. His empire was known as the Achaemenid Empire. During the reign of Darius the Great, the kingdom enjoyed much prosperity, increasing its borders from the Caucasus all the way to Africa. The empire was skilled in all manner of creative artwork, writings, metal framework, and developed the world's first postal system. This is to say that the Persian Empire was amongst one of the world's ancient superpower. So how does this line up with prophecy? In Daniel 7, Daniel had a vision of the four beasts coming out of the sea. The second beast was a bear raised on one side with three ribs in its mouth. That's Daniel 7:5. This bear represents the Medo-Persian Empire. The three ribs in its mouth represents the three tribal nations of Lydia, Medes, and Babylon, which was conquered by King Cyrus. Eventually, the Persians took full control of the empire. The ram with two horns in Daniel 8:3 explicitly represents Media and Persia. Historically, Persia conquered Babylon in 539 BC, became a dominant global superpower, which set the stage for the Greek Empire under Alexander the Great. It was the Persian king Cyrus that Elohim used in his plans to allow the Jews to return to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple. This can be found in Ezra 1:1-2. In fact, Cyrus the Great is called God's anointed in Isaiah 45:1, which was written nearly 150 years before Cyrus was born. This shows Persia as a God-used empire, not merely a pagan power. But as with all superpowers, the glory lasts only but for a moment. The ancient Persian Empire was overthrown by Alexander the Great of Macedonia. So fast forward to modern times. How did Persia become Iran, the country we know today? For reasons unknown, in 1935, Persia formally requested the international community to use the name Iran, which is derived from an ancient term meaning land of the Aryans. Pre-20th century Persia was largely secular in governance, but the Islamic Revolution of 1979 changed everything, and Iran was transformed into a religious republic. This marked a fundamental ideological shift in Iran's regional posture. But this regional shift is not by chance. One of the most debated passages in scriptures referencing Persia appears in Ezekiel chapters 38-39. It says Persia, Cush, and Put are with them. Cush is the ancient biblical name for Ethiopian Sudan, and Put is the biblical name for modern-day Libya. So what is being spoken about here in this scripture? Reference was made to a particular nation called Gog, who is from the land of Magog, and its allies coming against Israel. Israel here means the entire 12 tribes, which will take place when Elohim restores Judah and Israel and make them into one unified kingdom again. And Persia, which is Iran, is listed as part of a multinational alliance attacking a restored Israel. But you ask the question, how can this be? Libya is suffering with its own political battles, and Ethiopia doesn't seem to be a threat. So how can this prophecy be fulfilled? This scenario does not align with any known ancient military campaign. However, the geographical alignment resembles modern Iran, Turkey, Russia, China, and North African regions, which is why this scripture is seen as an unfulfilled apocalyptic literature intended to describe a future geopolitical crisis. Ezekiel 38:3 also refers to this mysterious Gog as the Prince of Rosh, Meshach, and Tubal. These names can be found in Genesis chapter 10 in the genealogy of Noah's sons. We see that Meshach and Tubal were the sons of Japheth, and Cush and Puth were the sons of Ham, meaning these nations would band together to fight against a future unified Israel in time to come. In the 21st century, Iran has emerged as a regional power with influence in Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq, and is also a strategic ally of Russia and China. So from a historical analysis standpoint, these alliances mirror the coalition described in Ezekiel 38. What I would say is that all conditions need to be met in order to say whether or not we are on the verge of this prophecy. Nevertheless, it will take place as the scriptures must be fulfilled. So where do we stand today? No doubt this conversion has made Iran a focal point of modern prophetic and academic discussions, as we can see in the news today. Some scholars believe these texts are symbolic rather than literal. Others argue the geopolitical specificity exceeds symbolic explanation. But as believers, we know the word to be true and eagerly await the fulfillment of this prophecy. What is widely agreed upon is that Persia's identification is unusually precise compared to other ancient nations. Its recurrent appearance in biblical texts is undeniable. As we are witnessing the continuation of a narrative written thousands of years ago, what do you think about this? Feel free to drop your comment in the comment section below and have a well-meaningful discussion. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, knowledge is a gift from above. We must nurture it to the fullest. See you in the next video.